We are going to have a great time today. It's about fish cakes, and specifically catfish cakes. My family just absolutely adores this meal. It's so tasty and it's so easy to make. You know, I've seen recipes before, they seem to just put in the kitchen sink. I'm going to show you how simple and easy it is to make the most delectable, fantastic catfish cakes you ever put in your mouth. Very tasty. We're going to complement our fish cakes with a citrusy salad, fresh greens, and they're going to have a little punch in there. And we're going to top my fish cakes with my seafood sauce and just something great to drizzle over. You're going to love the taste and the texture of both of those items together. Sure to please your family and mine. And don't forget, catfish is great for you. Pond-raised, fresh, clean. It's just absorbed so many wonderful flavors. I think you're going to enjoy this meal that we're fixing today. Good to see you back. We're ready to start our fish cakes. I have about 2 pounds of catfish, and all we need to do is season it. I've got a little Creole seasoning here. I don't want to get this too terribly hot because we have some other herbs and spices and veggies that we're going to add to this. And I think that's probably enough. And then it's going into a 350 oven for about 10 minutes, just until it's cooked. Pop him in there. They're going to be nice. Now, what I want to put together for you is my very special seafood sauce. I've got a really good mayonnaise, not a salad dressing. Make sure you use a really good mayonnaise. And do roughly a cup, a little more, a little less, whatever you like. And then I want a couple of really good squeezes of some good ketchup. That gives a little sweetness to it. Now, the next thing that you got to do is add a little Tabasco sauce. Oh gosh, everything needs just a little bit of heat, just a few drops. Don't want to overpower it. Now, one thing that's going to give it a wonderful little zing too is I'm going to add a couple of lemons. It kind of lends a little liquid quality to it. And I need a knife to cut these rascals with. Here we go. Got our little juicer here. Oh, it already smells so good with that Tabasco sauce in there. I love that. I want the juice of at least 2 lemons. I use this a lot with whether I'm making a crab salad or a shrimp salad. We're going to whisk it all together, grab a spoon and give it a taste test. Okay. Now, get a good whisk and let's start mixing it. No lumps and bumps. I do want it to have kind of a slightly pink flavor, or color rather. I'm going to add just one more little squeeze of our ketchup in there. Whisk. That looks like the perfect color, the perfect texture. And it's just so easy, as I said, to adjust any of this to your personal taste. It is, that is perfect. Absolutely perfect. Now, let's get a little foil on here. We're gonna let all those wonderful flavors meld together. After the break, we're gonna see about putting our fish cakes together. Today we're making catfish cakes. Our simple, savory seafood dressing is in the fridge, getting nice and chilled, letting all those flavors come together. We have our catfish fillets in the oven. We sprinkled them with some Creole seasoning, and we're baking until they're just flaky. Let's go check. Looks great. And we're gonna set this aside just for a minute, right over here. Get them out of this pan, going into a bowl where we have just enough room to make sure we can mix. Get it out of here, and that'll let them cool. Then we're gonna start making our salad dressing. And that's steaming and good. All right, salad dressing. And the reason why I love to do it in jars is that you have all the measuring lines that are right here. First thing that I wanna do is I want about 6 ounces of good extra virgin olive oil. Come on, come on. I got my lid. I want to make sure I have my lid because I love to shake these up and get them really, really incorporated. We're going to do the juice of 2 limes, and I've got, a couple of them right here. Nice thing about this, you can adjust it if you think it's a little too much citrus. Some limes are a little bit bigger than others, some are smaller. I just want to get all the good juice that we possibly can of 2. I love how these 2 play against each other, and if you get a little squirt of it on you, ooh, you'll just smell divine like everything else you're cooking. You'll be really clean. All right, now what I want to do is add a teaspoon of salt there, and then a few grinds of some pepper. Give them 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, let's go 10. I think that'd be really good. Oh, what the dickens, 11, 12. I love all that pepper. Now, lid on. Really get it to incorporate, but isn't that pretty? Just a beautiful color. Now I'm gonna grab a spoon. We're gonna test and see if we need to make any adjustments whatsoever. I will add my other lime. I certainly will. And that should do it. Don't want to overwhelm it. I do like things with a little bit of a tang to it. Try not to put too much where it doesn't irritate my family. Sometimes, woo, we've got pucker power going here, Mother. But I love how this really blends together so well. And a good squeeze. Another shake. Let's get a clean spoon. See how that does. That is perfect. Really taste the freshness of that lime. All right, we'll set that aside. Now, here we're gonna start in on fish cakes. And I hope these rascals have cooled. Get rid of the bling, move the bring out, because we're gonna use our hands. So here I'm gonna just start flaking this fish apart, just breaking it apart with my hands. And again, this was roughly 2 pounds, and it's flaking beautifully. So that means it was cooked very well. Went in a 350 oven, roughly 10 to 15 minutes. Good thing about this, not cooking it till it's just bone dry, doesn't leave you with any little tough pieces that may be overcooked. I've got some mayonnaise here, and I'm going to use probably 1/4 cup of Hellmann's. And we're going to adjust if you need to. You can always adjust. And now we're going to put in another about 1/4 cup of plain breadcrumbs. I do like a little green. I'm going to put in just a shake here of some dried parsley. I don't want a lot. So I think that's plenty. I love the crunch that a bell pepper adds to it, and 3 green onions. Let's see, let's get some that really, oh, these are good. You're too small, you go back to the bunch. All right, I'm gonna say this is a very large red bell pepper. I'm gonna go roughly half of it. Just want a good chop to them. This really lends a good sweetness to it. Of course, the color is beautiful, and that's one thing that I really love. Just make sure you get all this little kind of pithy thing out of here. And we're gonna do pretty much a little fine chop, if I can get these strips going. Of course, we'll do them the other way. But indulge yourself and go make sure that you have a pretty red bell pepper instead of the green. This is a sweeter and milder taste to it, and I think you're really gonna enjoy it. I always like it if you have that pretty thing that kind of bursts in your mouth, that beautiful taste of that sweetness. All right. Now, a nice fine chop here on some green onions. And we're going to use top and bottom, white and green. And let's just start chopping again. And then you can adjust any of the amounts depending on how you feel it looks, and again, how it really feels when you start to patty these cakes up. Now, almost got that. All right. What we want to do is make sure that we get this mixed well. We'll see if we have to adjust anything. We want it to bind together. This is where it gets a little messy, but it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to start patting these up, and I want to get about 6 of them. Now this is just beautiful. Form them into a great patty. I didn't add any extra seasonings here, mainly because we put the Tonys on it first. So just grab a nice handful. You want a pretty patty, all that good fish and everything in there. All right. Get our stuff up in here. Grab another little bit. And see, the mayo and the breadcrumbs are exactly what help you bind. So I'm hoping I get, 5 or 6 out of here. There's our 5th. I'm going to keep putting these together, put them in the fridge, and let them sit for about 30 minutes or so. And we're going to fry them up when we come back. It's so much fun putting together catfish cakes with a fabulous meal today. It's going to be absolutely delicious. We made a wonderful, savory kind of seafood sauce that we're going to drizzle over our cakes. We have patted up our fish cakes, and they're in the fridge, kind of getting firm before we saute them. We've made a very citrusy dressing with lots of olive oil, just heaven. Now it's time to put together that gorgeous green salad. Let's get started. Starting out with a little bit of spring mix here, be kind of generous with it. I love how all the different textures and flavors of these greens, they're soft, they're tender, lots of pretty different colors, and I just love the way that looks. Now, I'm going to put in a couple of Granny Smith apples, and I've got a couple of avocados. I'm just going to do some thin slices on this. 1 or 2, doesn't matter. We'll see kind of how we feel, how we think we need to do this. I didn't peel this because I love how the crisp green of the skin just really seems to add to the salad. And plus you got some vitamins and everything in there, so just don't peel it. And one more. Let's get an avocado in there and kind of see how we're doing. Now, these are Hass avocados. Oops, had some holdovers. We hope that they look pretty. Sometimes it's just like a surprise package. Oops, you don't know what you're getting sometimes. We're gonna turn. You know, it's not as pretty as I wanted it to be. It doesn't mean that you can't use some of the other parts in here. This might be something you'd scoop, but I certainly never want to slice anything like that in. Now, tell you what we can do. Take that off completely. Go ahead and slice. But I'm very picky about my avocados. Like them to be really, really pretty, very fresh. Kind of going into maybe few more slices here, at least 1 in here. Avocados need to be, I think if you're going to put them in a salad, I think they need to be absolutely perfect. So we're going to see how this does. Oh, I like him better. Now, very carefully, take your knife, just a twist there. Now, I'm going to take a couple of sprigs of cilantro. Looks like your flat leaf parsley, but it just has that, it almost has kind of a citrusy smell to it. Nice little bunch, and just pull some off, break it off. There we go. And let's get a good chop of this. This is the kick to your salad. Get those leaves, because we're going to sprinkle this throughout our salad. When we mix, all right, baby, go in there, have fun. Now, here's another thing. We've washed some fresh mint. Just makes it so special. Let's pull a few more here. There we go. And we're going to do, again, whoops, come here, honey. And a good chop with this too. Bring your mint in last, because sometimes if you leave it kind of sitting around, and it may tend to bruise a little bit. You want to be careful with it. But these two ingredients just really add a lot of pop. And there you go. Just beautiful. Okay, now this is ready to go to the fridge, and we'll get our fish cakes. Look how pretty. All right. And I want to get a little bit of flour, not all over me preferably, but into this bowl. And we don't want to just kill ourselves with flour, but I do want enough in there that we have a good shake of it all around, that we can just kind of lightly dredge these, get them ready to go. If you have to kind of just pat them, don't want them full, that looks good. Put them back on the same plate. Get a little bit here. Dredge, dredge, pat, pat. This is going to help them brown. Have a nice pretty color on there. Here we go. I didn't season this flour. There's no extra seasoning in it. We have so much. Let's stick him back on there just a second. There's so much seasoning, I think, that we've used in our Tonys, and then we've got some good veggies in there. I think we'll be good to go. Just a little bit of canola going on the stove. We're not deep frying these. It's just enough to make sure that we get them lightly browned. Don't need very much at all. And then we'll start heating this up at a medium high. You want them to brown on both sides. And we'll take our turn, give them a turn here in just a second. And I think they're all going to fit in here. That'll be nice, because then they can all cook at the same time. And these take about 3 to 4 minutes. Well, after we flip them, we'll come back after the break, and then we're going to put our whole meal together. We'll see you in a couple. Time to plate everything together. I want to spoon up in a little ramekin here some of our special seafood sauce. What a nice zing this is going to have. I love how this is tasting. Use it as a dipping sauce, always off to the side just in case you have a guest that maybe doesn't care for it, but how could you not love this? So I'm going to put that aside. Let's give a good shake. Look how pretty, so green and gorgeous. Ooh, it smells so good. We have a little olive oil in there. We've got the juice of several limes, salt and pepper. We have spring mix, Granny Smith apples, avocado, and then we have put our little zing of cilantro and some mint. I want to make sure we have a good piece of that Granny Smith in there, and oh, here's an avocado. Now I'm going to leave this here, and I'm walking over to get fish cakes. Let's have a couple of them. They're gorgeous. They're so pretty, and they smell so good. Look how beautiful. Oh my goodness. That is just gorgeous. Here you go. What a pretty plate, something that you'll enjoy with family and friends. I know I want to bite right now myself. Right over here. They're just so hot off the press. I love it. I'm steaming. I might have to wait. But let him cool down, buddy. That is gorgeous. I hope you enjoy fixing this for your family, your friends, as much as I've enjoyed making it for you. Hope I see you another time. Gorgeous.